where we're seeing a change now, though, is that, I don't know, 5 years ago, it was like we were like lone voices crying in the wilderness that this thing is coming. Now you see like major VCs and major capital sources coming in with this thesis and backing it. And so it's taking off significantly.
So are you seeing from the capital structure, is it the traditional bio and health VCs? Is it the very traditional tech, or is it kind of almost a new group that's coming out that sees an intersection and kind of sees things differently? Or all the above?
From my experience, I think it's the quote unquote deep tech investors are the ones that have a lot of interest. We absolutely do have some like stereotypical healthcare investors who lean towards the deep tech part. Like the classic middle of the road healthcare investors are not interested, at least not yet. They will be one day. But it takes the people that are forward thinking, that are willing to, take a risk on things.
Groups that traditionally invest in medical device have already like missed it, basically. Like a lot of them don't have like huge funds, and they're like used to pricing according to medical device prices. So by the time that they are like getting comfortable with it, it'll be like, fine, you can buy in at like $5 billion.
Well, because the traditional medical device don't ever hit that, right? Yeah. Like you put in 10, 30, 50 million, have an exit to Medtronic or whoever for like 500 million.
It's self-fulfilling. If you only ever invest in like marginal improvements to a urinary catheter, then you're never hitting those big numbers, except for the couple of people who backed Intuitive,
But even Intuitive, which is, I think, the perfect example, it created a platform. It was not a better scalpel. It was, how do we think about robotic surgery? How do we democratize it? It's funny, I think about where healthcare is going with AI and creating like superpowered doctors. And for a long time, I kept saying like, well, I think we're going to get rid of specialties. I think that the idea of there being an oncologist, a cardiologist, if the doctor has Dr. AI on their shoulder, why wouldn't they be able to do all of these different things and be able to understand that? And I always I'm like, well, surgery's over here though, because surgery is its own thing and everything. But if you take Intuitive to its logical conclusion, forget the completely replaces the surgeon, but just any doctor can do surgery then, as long as you have the robot able to help you there. So, and you have that, or like Illumina is another example, right? Where you had this, it's an entirely new platform technology.
Most neurotech companies are platforms because they have like a formative hardware capability, and then there's so many different software layers you can put on top.
That's why I view us more as a tech or software company, right? I mean, the hard part is getting the hardware right. That's a really, really challenging thing to do. But once you nail that, it becomes a software company where you're just changing your API or a little bit of your algorithm in order to do these vastly different use cases. And so that's how it really scales. Whereas with every other traditional medical device, you have to build an entirely new physical product to do those different things. For us, we can spin up a new application in a matter of days or weeks, right? With minimal resources. So it starts to look a lot more like a software company.